Gabe says things.
Well, not always.
Not always, that's true.
That is the humanity saving grace. There is a break, a solace between the things I say.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Hello and
stop.
welcome to our show.
Hello. We have Orion.
We have indeed
Hi.
have Orion.
I'm new.
In case you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
For those of you who are also new. So.
All right, I'm going to move this just slightly.
There we go.
Slightly.
There we go.
So, when last we met, you guys had just rolled into Garrison, nestled in the mountains, a city with a very large military contingent where they're keeping a lot of their artillery, it looks like. You guys have had a chance to make your way through the gates. There are lines like there always are in a city, but not too long. Luckily, this time around, you guys do have parking. Bea, Tiffany, and Idelwald direct you guys to a particular spot in the market where you're able to circle up your wagons, put down some tents, and set things up.
Cool.
All right.
It's pretty busy out here, and there's a lot of people coming and going. Well, actually, let's start with this. Vesta, as people are settling down, Bea walks up to you to talk shop. So, yeah, we probably need like 4 days or so, 3-4.
Okay, cool.
Right, and I think we owe you guys back pay now, right? We should be able to have cash within like 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember how much we owe you guys?
I want to say that we traveled for like 3 days.
3 days sounds about right.
Was it 3 days?
But I have my separate deal. I have
Right.
the buckler with
Speaking of which, looks like it's ready.
oh yeah.
You're handed a buckler. It's like it matches actually the same red as the middle of like your chain and plate. This one is made to look sort of like a sea turtle with wings, kept reasonably close in, so it's a fluid metal shield. And it's small enough that you sort of stick your hand in it through the little hole, you grab your haft, and it's nice and comfortable to keep the shield there while you're holding a two-handed weapon.
I have 25 threshold.
Whew, looking pretty sturdy.
Yeah. Feeling pretty good.
And now is the shield red?
The shield is red.
Nice red and round.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had like a dress that was being made.
That
Right.
one is still being made, I'm afraid.
Okay. And I forget because they were paying 3 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were paying Myra, Trunk, Steel Fist, and
Elbjorn.
Relbjorn. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think someone else and one person was taking a day off each
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
That's how it was set up.
Okay.
The other people weren't being paid, so there were 3 of you who were being paid in investment.
Mm-hmm.
Investments.
That being said, you still owe 2 gold left on the price of this. It's just done now, so
Yeah.
go ahead type of thing. You guys have been actually paid for the 3 days. You would have gotten a gold and 5 silver.
Okay.
Now that you guys have settled into town, though, you see that at different places there's adventurers coming and going, buying weapons from weapon shops, picking up supplies at the edge of the market, going to job boards and picking up postings. Looks like there's a decent bit of stuff to do around here in this town.
Cool. Pick up a job, maybe. While we
Well,
wait.
Jobs are always good.
Yeah.
Yep. Keeps money in our pocket and food in our belly.
Mm-hmm. Idle minds grow stagnant.
Yeah, because we won't be doing any guarding while we're here. So.
And don't get me started on idle hands. Okay. Is there a job board around?
Yep, there is one, it looks like. Once you make your way up to the job board, it becomes apparent that there's nothing in town per se. There's a few things a little ways off, but a lot of these are sort of pickup contracts to go like a couple days away, or they're contracts that were posted to the city for like isolated villages. Nothing really strikes you as the sort of thing that you could get done in 3 days.
Well, dang.
However, there are other postings. As you look down, there's other ones that seem to be heading more or less your way. One that you see is there's a caravan of travelers heading to Councilhenge that are looking for guards. They're willing to pay, it looks like 6 guards.
Okay.
I'm going to consult the map. Is that the way we're going?
Yeah, Councilhenge is the next stop on your trip.
Okay. And I'm assuming we could sort of form a larger caravan if nobody's opposed.
Yeah.
It's basically, you know, like 6 people double up on guard duty. Like we can get more people paid, more rotations on that.
Yeah. Or we
Mhm.
could even hire a couple more people if if we actually have cash coming in.
You also see that not actually as like a posting, but as like a proper thin wood engraving that's been tacked sort of off to the side of the board. There's a permanent notice directing people to go to the courier's office for pickups.
Do we have any pickups?
Well, I've been looking for mail from the trial. There's a chance
This would
might
be
sent
for
on.
people, for couriers to pick up packages to bring places.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I mean, we're not licensed, but we have hands. Might as well check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're forming sort of a coalition, a proper caravan, it couldn't hurt to transport some goods along the way. Let's go check out the courier's office.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, who's all heading there?
I'll go.
Yeah, I'll go to the courier's office.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll wander over.
All right. You guys make your way up there. There's a couple of different lines because this is a big city. However, only 2 of the lines are moving. There's one where people keep leaving that line and going back into the other one because there's this hulking looking lupus just like looming over the counter, the mouse folk there, arguing over something. You don't know what. You guys can tell because it's your native tongue.
Oh, what's the argument about?
Yeah.
I told you. We need to have certification that you can handle this level of job, otherwise we can't offer it. I know you have an impressive record, but unless we have a record of your record, we can't do it.
Hey, see my name?
I
See my
Shink.
see my big sword? I'm Johnny Big Sword. I can handle the big sword. I can handle anything.
You hear just a click, and there's like a clunk, and a portcullis closes, like a gridded one, right in front of the attendant, who genuinely doesn't bat an eye. This just seems to be like reflex at this point. I know you have a sword. Lots of people have swords, and I know you have a name. Lots of people have names, but again, we don't trade in repute. We look. We have records. We have ledgers.
Did I say sword?
Hey, what seems to be the problem here? You're kind of holding up the line.
Sir.
Well, ma'am. Well,
Ma'am. You.
is it me? Yes.
Can you open this gate?
I don't think so. What?
You can
Yes, I can.
by putting away the sword.
Asking Johnny Big Sword to put away the big sword.
It seems to
Yeah.
be what they're asking.
Now, are you just gonna come up, put a hand on your shoulder on this one, and just be like, "There's a time to pull out the big sword, and there's a time where it's just not appropriate."
It's hard to grasp. Unlike my sword, but okay.
There's a loophole if you're willing to put the sword away.
Okay. Johnny Big Sword will, for a few moments, become Johnny.
Basically, right as the sword goes, like, you go most of the way into the sheath, and then there's like a tight bit so it stays there, and it's like, basically as you go, there's another click, and up it goes. So, it seems you've made some friends. 4 of them. A group of 4 is rated for this contract.
Hey,
Hello.
my name's Johnny Big Sword.
I've gathered.
Have you seen my big sword?
Yeah.
How's it going? He's just immediately sticking a hand out. Reginald Clarkswell the second. How can we be of assistance
I'm going
here?
to turn to the clerk and say, is there any sort of like, are we responsible for this man if we're a group? Or
Well, we would have to write it down on record that you did this together, but as long as the package gets there safe, that's all we need.
Where's the package going?
This one in particular, you see the piece of paper being slided towards you. You see a bunch of information on it with exact details that you're able to take. This would be a shipment of steel going to Councilhenge. Not sure how steel ended up here. It usually goes the other way, but...
Councilhenge. That's where we're going.
well, we're putting together a bit of a group. I mean, if you want to join us, I guess it'll help you with your current political
Yeah.
problem. Get through some red tape.
It's a 5 gold job.
Okay.
All right. So you come on board, Johnny Large Sword.
Hey, Johnny Big Sword.
Big
Don't
Sword.
forget the name.
It's one of a kind for sure.
You get it.
Can I roll insight on this man?
Go for it.
Do I even have any insight dots?
Insight's not a thing.
Understand. Oh, and I do have dots. All right. Ooh,
Gotta
that's
get those
a
simple
12.
understands.
A 12. Well, what's your deal?
Johnny Big Sword is here. He's just looking in general, and he needs money for his search.
Yeah, you
Is that
see.
enough?
Yeah, you
Okay.
see a strange man, but a reasonably straightforward dude, adventurer working for money.
Okay. Well,
You look frankly at yourself and the people around you and go, "I'm not the weirdest one here."
really not.
Does Reggie hear that? Damn.
Does Vesta hear that?
I am curious as to who Henny thinks is the weirdest one.
Well, welcome aboard, Johnny. You wouldn't be the weirdest one or the weirdest named one.
I know.
So, you do a lot of caravan guarding?
No. No, Johnny fights. Johnny kills.
Whew. Well, I mean, those are both very important skills. Do you have any sort of negotiating?
Oh, yes. Johnny has been well versed in how to talk with strangers. Have you not noticed?
Well, I mean,
Johnny will talk with whoever you want. Johnny will get it done.
clearly. Okay.
Vesta's gonna
you guys-
sign the papers.
You're
Yeah.
directed to like one window over, basically, where there's no line. They slide over a big, heavy crate.
Okay. Reginald. Johnny.
Yes.
You guys
Looks like you guys are up.
lift this big heavy crate.
We did our job.
Big, heavy crate? Not as big as my sword.
Or my axe.
So, we lifting it? I
Yeah,
guess?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys each take a half and just clunk, clunk. There's a lot of metal in here, but it seems to be going reasonably well. You're both pretty beefy dudes. You guys make your way back. It's only a short distance to get back
I'm
to
still
the market square where things are properly set up. There's things being bought and sold. You've been given your physical paycheck now that they've got the change for it, and it seems like things are well underway. By now, it's late afternoon.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm assuming the market's set up. Yeah, I'm gonna hang around the market and people watch a bit, see if there's any sort of odd jobs I can help. Run around and grab inventory, help restock as people come and go.
Do we have is there a rookery here? Or is it
Yep.
outside of I'm gonna head to the rookery.
You're actually stopped by Corvo on your way out. It's only a little ways off. Like, this is a big city. A lot of the core amenities are in one place in, like, the city center. Corvo actually stops you and stops Henny and sort of, like, urges both of you guys to go with him in absolution to the library.
Ooh, are we doing some research? Oof. pull up my magnifying glass. I'm like, Henny's good at research. I've been itching for a good topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can read.
I can research and look at books.
Well, no, it is very important in research to be able to carry all the books. I'm sure you'll find some use.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it can't reach the top shelf, so having someone a little extra arm couldn't hurt.
Okay.
So
Sounds
your friends
good.
get pulled off. The rest of the NPCs are still around, as is your newfound ally.
Johnny Big Sword.
Johnny. Big sword.
What are you up to?
I guess I'm just hanging around. Did we ever set up that guarding thing going to the next city?
Not yet.
Haven't done it yet.
Okay, I'll look into that.
All right. It tells you to meet with the people at an inn a little ways off, like 3 streets over. Says that the job pays 6 gold in total.
Okay. And we're gonna be here for a couple days, right? Like here in the garrison?
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
Okay, I'll go over there and talk to them.
All right. You get there sort of right as dinner's starting, which it's awfully convenient since everyone you're looking for happens to be at a table waiting for their meals to arrive. They haven't yet eaten. Considering that you're here to negotiate the contract, they offer you just a drink. Same with your big burly friend.
Sure.
Thank you.
Looks like these travelers it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. They're a bunch of people going from here to Councilhenge, and they want to go with an escort.
Okay. I explained to them that we're going to be here for a couple days. I'm wondering if that's okay. Or if they're looking to leave right away.
They're all right with that. Wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of time to get things done, get their things together, group up with you guys, and there's still some sights to see here in Garrison.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. We can do that.
They want to know more about your contingent.
My contingent. So I guess. Oh man, we have so many people.
Yeah.
So I
That's
guess
a lot.
Elbjorn, Elmira, Trunk, Absolution are guarding the other one, right?
Yes.
As you're sort of like mulling it over quietly to yourself and counting, and you mention another caravan, they go, "Oh, you're a bigger group that's doing multiple caravans?
Yes.
We're in."
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we just have like a lot of people, and so we're going all together, you know? Yeah.
Johnny trusts your judgment on this.
Okay.
Well, after a bit of negotiation, it's 6 gold contract in total upon arrival. You finished your drinks, and now it's on the later half of the dinner hour.
Okay.
I do love Vesta goes in for negotiations, followed by this huge hulking man with a giant sword. The implication to them is this is the leader, this is the bodyguard. When in reality, this is the leader, and this is some idiot that she bumped into on the street and has been following her.
He's a simple man. Or he's a wolf I guess.
Still a simple man.
He's a simple man. He's a simple guy.
Simple guy.
As you're on your way out of the tavern, there's a rat folk who walks up to you with a nice big heavy backpack bedroll on it, like blackened plate over some like robes underneath and a weapon. Hey, did I hear you're part of a big group of guards guarding caravans?
Yes, we are.
Hi, Milton, nice to meet you.
I'm not actually going to shake your hand because I have a cough in real life.
I understand. So, yeah, I was just wondering if if you were maybe looking for other people to join on, I'm a hard worker. I know how to use a weapon. And I'll show up, do the work up early every day.
I don't think we're looking for any more people right now, though.
Okay.
Sorry.
Maybe if you're still here in a couple days.
Yeah, if we're still here in a couple days, I'll let you know what's going on.
All right. I appreciate you even giving me a thought. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And Rick just kind
Goes on his
of
way.
walk off.
He seemed weak. You are good to turn him away. I smelled weakness.
Thank you for trusting my judgment.
He did not have a big sword.
His sword was weak
I could tell it would break.
against my big sword.
Mm. In his defense, all do. So,
Okay.
You regroup with the rest of the caravan at this point. It's the evening about now. The market's dying down and people are heading off to, taverns, different events around town.
I demand that Johnny Big Sword becomes a recurring character.
I guess I'll just hang out and start doing alchemy or something.
All right. You sit down with the caravan and get your equipment ready. Meanwhile, you guys are in the library, and in particular, it's not so much that you're being brought on to help research something with Corvo, it's that Corvo is getting information from you to corroborate facts. So far, you guys have confirmed that the Boru that is in charge of the mines is the same Boru that was in the war that Absolution remembers. Likewise, the figure that you saw in your visions that Henny is able to identify as this Laszlo dude, and Absolution confirms to be this guy called Lindsay Blythe, has also had a number of false identities over roughly the past 200 years. You've been working through it, but you've managed to track down a number of them who effectively all happened to be nobility in the several decades leading up to the war. From there, you're still tracking down leads, but these life drinker things that your friends at least have been hunting for a while seem to be getting a bit more plausible.
Well, that's a lot more than I thought it was.
Well, I mean, nobody ever believes a conspiracy. That's usually most people's downfall.
Well, the conspiracy was everyone's being drank by other people.
It's not so hard to believe. I mean, it happens.
It happened, but certainly not normal in such a large amount of people.
I mean, what? You thought I just put on this mask and hid my identity because I was crazy?
No comment.
Can I roll understand?
Roll deceive.
That's a 7.
That's a 13.
No comment.
Wow,
okay.
That worked out really well.
I'm mad. I'm like, you can't see because I have the mask on, but my face is like kind of turning a little bit red under my fur. And then I realize you're too silly to lie to me. Like, I don't think you have the mental capacity to come up with a lie. You just don't have the tact. So I accept your no
You also
comment.
get the distinct impression that if Reggie was going to be like hostile, he'd have done it already.
Exactly.
And also
Okay.
from Reggie Vision, you see that there's a piece of paper with an interview where someone's just said we were interviewing him, but he just said no comment.
Okay. I'm sorry. You know what, Reggie? You're right. I'm sorry. I guess I misread you a little bit there. At any rate, yeah. It's all real and kind of terrifying, but we're getting leads. We're getting facts. And we're going to find these guys.
And then what?
And we kill them.
But I thought we couldn't kill them. That's the whole point.
Well, okay, so they can't die really, but you can stop their regeneration if you place their head, which is sort of where the soul is kept, into a box, and that prevents them from being able to grow out of the box, and you just kind of keep them there as an eternal battery of hatred.
As you guys are reaching this point, you've come back to the caravan, and Elmira chimes in. What if you just took their heads, put them in boxes, and then encased them in concrete under the ground?
The problem is we're dealing with people who are immortal, and they have an infinite amount of time and resources. Eventually, they would find them, dig them up, and crack them open.
Maybe it's not about eventually.
Are you saying we find all of them? Because that's the end goal. If we can find all of them and wipe them out, that'd be perfect. But we were keeping them in a bank, but then the bank got
What if you get the heads, put them in a box, close the box, and then slice the box in half?
So currently, you are sharing a face with a number of other NPCs in the caravan who have no idea what's going on.
I
There are a
So,
bunch
Mr.
of people that need a big sword to cut their head from the rest of their body.
I have good news.
Mr. Johnny, how are you about conspiracies of government and magic and such?
I trust no one.
I like this guy. So, what if I told you that you were right to do so, because most governments in this continent are actually under the control of a global sort of cult of magic users who are immortal and have been pulling the strings on government since the war 25 years ago.
Corvo looks at you and goes,
Longer than that? So this goes a lot deeper. So basically, our goal...
Corvo, as you're speaking, has been scribbling something down, and then he, shoves it into your hand and goes tap, 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 tap.
I look at it. What do I see?
You see, in particular, two, bullet points. One of them goes, currently they're shifting to businesses, and then the bullet point underneath goes, it's only been governments for the past 100.
I relay this information. So basically, our goal is to put together a group of people large enough to take them down. And you, my friend, with your skeptical attitude and, dare I say, big sword, you might be one of the men for the job.
Johnny sees no issue with this. However, what's in it for Johnny?
Well, justice and, eventually wherever you live is going to be run over by these things. They're relentless.
No.
No?
Johnny would not let that happen.
Well, what I'm saying is you can have a preemptive strike.
The greatness of slicing people with your big sword.
And you have to do it really well, because otherwise they'll just come back.
We need somebody who can slice people with a big sword very well.
Well,
no one has ever come back from being sliced with the big sword.
Henny notices a little ways off from the caravan. There's a dude who's just sort of leaning against a nearby post. Who's just been kind of watching for a little while.
What?
How obvious is Henny being right now?
Good question.
Real stealthy, real sneaky.
Yeah, but you also told me to look.
Sometimes I forget that you're a dullard, okay? Is that okay? I'm surrounded by them. I just want some equal company.
You look back and the figure's gone.
Okay, well, anyway, we'll continue this conversation later, but once we have a group established, I'm sure there's something that you would like to do. Maybe we can do you help us and then we help you sort of thing.
Johnny doesn't understand unsliceable. Johnny will work with you.
I thought I was crazy. You guys looking at the edge of your group, there's a human, shaggy looking blonde hair and beard. I thought I was crazy, but it's true, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Life drinkers.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Can I perform a grapple check to bring him sort of so he's not going to run away or nothing? I just want to kind of grab him and bring him in. What's grapple again? Grace?
It would be a weapon roll to connect.
Okay. Oh, fuck. That's a 12.
12. Basically, as you lunge, he like rolls around you and is like next to you in the middle, like not in the middle of the group, but like side to side sort of thing.
What do you know about the life drinkers?
Enough.
I want to roll understand on this man. I don't trust him.
Go for it.
God damn it. It's a 5. Shit. That's a lot of dice against my 5.
You just see scraggly hair and beard, and everything about the face is inscrutable. Look, I know it's suspicious. You don't have to believe me. I'm gonna come by the market every couple days. If you guys are leaving on a hunt, I'm interested. He sort of just backs into the shadows.
What's your... Oh, he's gone. We don't know his name.
He sort of walks sidelong between two wagons on his way past, and he goes, Garth.
So that's super awkward. He had to be like, oh, fuck, I didn't really... Garth.
Shoot.
Shit, no.
You ever been in that situation, though? Where you're like...
I'm gonna do something cool. Wait, but... Oh, fuck.
As one last thing, I want to roll sleuth to see if I can deduce any reason why someone on the life drinker's side would just announce that they know us and know that we're here.
Well,
and
we
do
were
that.
just talking out loud about it.
Right, but I feel like if he was on the life drinker's side, he would probably slip away and just, like, come in the night and kill us. There's no reason to introduce himself. So I want to roll sleuth to see if that
Go for it.
makes any sense. Man, 7, 8, 9, 16.
16. This guy's trying to enlist with you. If he was trying to insinuate himself into your group, he'd probably hire you. And if he just wanted to track your movements, he'd probably just track you. And if they wanted you killed, well, they fucking tried.
This is all true. You know? I think
50 cavalry didn't work.
That's true. This man might actually be on our side for once.
For once is nice.
Yeah, right?
By now, it's getting close to night.
Okay.
So, Joni, have you ever done guard duty before?
I can guard.
Okay, but like we do shifts here, so you don't have to guard all night. You know, we each get
Yeah.
some sleep.
Big sword. I will guard all night.
I'm saying you don't have to. Like we trust each other, so we can.
You may guard with me. I will stand guard all night.
Do you not sleep?
Johnny sleeps as he moves.
Huh.
Now, I once knew a guy...
training. I am ready.
Ready for?
No one will sneak up on me.
I know, but believe me, I'm not planning to.
I once knew a guy during the Great War. He had a pretty big sword too, and he would say the same thing. It was pretty weird. But like the thing is, he did sleep on the move. I'm not really sure about that. I'm not sure how he actually did that.
No, you'll forgive me if I have to accuse you of exaggerating, but your stories are often full of hyperbole.
I don't know what that is. There's nothing hyper about my stories.
Well, I mean, there's this
Which I guess just make them bully.
I haven't been able to find anything about the Red Star in the book, and like...
Well, like, he's not in a book. He's in the sky.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, with a lot of these deities, it's not a question of faith. That's all.
Well, yeah, of course, because he literally appeared in front of me. It's not a question of faith. I know he exists. I can point him out in the night sky.
Right there.
I mean, there is a red star. It's How about you, Johnny? Are you a man of religion?
No. I have my sword.
I like this man more every day.
I will stand watch. You may join me. I will be watching.
Okay, well,
Absolution keys in. Actually, at this point, we've got enough that it might not hurt for us to double up watches.
all right, or triple up.
Or quadruple.
If Mr. Sword is keen on not sleeping.
I do not trust you.
Is it?
I do not trust anyone.
Is it Mr. Sword or Mr. Big Sword?
Big sword. Do you want to see it?
I think that was a line in my wife's book once.
Okay, well, never mind that book. There's no need to disgrace the book. Okay, I'd like to roll science on this sword to see if there's anything special about this
I
sword.
put it away.
Go for it.
I put it away by now, so like.
You saw enough.
Okay.
That's 14.
I think that's all I know.
That's a 14 to learn about this big sword.
With the 14, you see that this is a effectively pattern welded, well cast, balanced blade. But beyond that, it gets put back. But roll politics.
Ooh, I'm also good at that. That's 13.
13. This sword is also probably 100 years old or more at least.
Ooh, where did you get that sword? It seems very old, very ancient.
Why do you want to know?
I'm just curious.
You will never have the big sword.
Man, I commend your secrecy, sir.
Do not touch it.
Yeah, no worries about that. See, y'all, this guy's got it figured out.
Got it figured out.
Certainly
his
not
whole life.
watch schedule.
Okay, well, no, but he doesn't trust anybody. He's prepared. He's been training. This is the guy we need.
To keep watch,
You're not seeing the big picture.
I'm seeing the big picture of the fact that I want to go to bed.
You may go to bed. I will be here.
That's one of
I'll
the smallest
also
pictures you could try and
be
make.
on this watch here.
All right, then. You guys won't need to draw because you're in town. It's mostly just keeping watch over the goods. Who's on first?
I think Reggie just said he was.
So the two of you guys stay
Reggie
up
and
through
Johnny.
most of the early night. There's still people coming and going in the taverns around now. Once it gets to the later night, who's on second?
Still me.
Okay. Oh. Where are you?
I will.
All right. Well, it's double watches, right? Or no?
Yeah, we can do a double up watch.
Well,
Okay, can I be there all the night, or is that breaking the?
You can. It's just you won't have any sleep.
Yeah,
You'll be exhausted the next day.
Mhm.
that's okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's
Okay.
The
Steve,
effects of sleep deprivation on your character are you get sleep deprived.
Is there any way to recover from that other than actually sleeping?
potions maybe.
No, I can't
Nothing-
I can't
nothing-
meditate to be better.
Nothing that isn't real bad for your health.
I like the idea that you meditate for 4 hours and it's totally not you sleeping.
I kind of want to do that. I'll meditate just so I'm asleep.
So you say you're meditating, but you sleepy.
you just sleep leaning against something.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't need to lean. This man has trained his core to stay taut while he slumbers.
Well, if I'm sleeping, it'll be sword in hand, so
Yeah.
I can lean on that. I think. And catnap, so
Yeah. Oh,
I'm ready to go.
You're ready.
Can I do that?
You can certainly get a more or less reasonable sleeping position with you being ready to strike, quote unquote.
As in standing up. Darn.
You are still a fucking mortal.
Can I do cross-legged then? Back upright.
Yeah, leaned up against the side of
Yeah.
a wagon, sword like this or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. That's my meditation.
You guys do note through your watch that Big Sword's oddly still. Who's on third?
I'll take third.
All right, with who?
What's Elmira doing?
Elmira's asleep, but when you go to check, Trunk looks at you and goes, "Oh, I can't sleep."
Okay, you want to watch?
Yeah, sure.
Oof. Man. So do you think we can actually do it?
Do what?
Kill the life drinkers.
I think it's important that we do what we can with what we have available.
That's very wise.
I think if we hope for something perfect, we're not going to get it. If these guys are going to come back, then maybe it's a question of how well do you equip the next generation of you guys?
I mean, it's just... We ran into this. I gestured towards the meditating of Johnny Big Sword, and he seems perfect. Like, he's secretive. Nobody knows anything about him. And he seems just like a living weapon that just stumbled into our possession.
Big sword.
Guess we'll see.
I guess.
Who's going to be on the last watch?
Albjorn. And Elmira.
All right. Albion and Elmira wake up and are there for watch. By the time morning comes, you've all reawoken.
Cool. Morning time.
Morning time.
How was your meditation?
Nothing of important happened. Have no fear.
I'm gonna like seeing him meditate and go, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, and I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna meditate too. I'm gonna say my prayers.
Wait, are you sitting next to me?
Not necessarily next to you, but like close by.
Okay. Are you within reaching distance of the sword?
Pretty tall, but I'm gonna say it's like probably like if I really stretched, I would be like this.
Okay.
Be like a little, you know.
I'm going to be reading an Arcana book as my ritual, and I'm looking in the Arcana book for any sort of cult revolving around swords.
I'm going to polish my sword.
Yeah,
Sharpen it. And whatnot.
that is a 8 plus 7, which is 15.
You don't find any cults that worship swords. You find a section dedicated to them.
Oh shit! And I'm scrolling through that for big, because that's the only adjective this man ever uses.
Genuinely, like, it's less a compendium. It's more like it gives you a couple of examples and then just mentions how this is a thing that happens, like, a lot. Like, it's to the same point of having, like, sun cults and death cults and war cults. Like,
Man.
sword cults are right up there.
Okay. Well, I've learned that this man is not unique, but I've also learned that, well, nothing of use. But at least the sword cult isn't something that the life drinkers can use to track them, because there's so many.
As you guys look up, it's
Don't worry, secret note passing.
Oh, also, Ryan.
is that going to me? Or?
No,
Yeah, you can do
okay.
it too. It's
You
fine.
can do
It doesn't matter.
Ryan, you can roll for polishing your sword, and then that heals you.
Oh.
If you're at 100 health.
What do I roll?
Your weapon.
No, but like how many?
All of your weapon. All 4 dots.
Oh, okay.
So 4 dice for each.
And
one.
then
plus your physical score.
Plus your physical score.
But like I'm full health, aren't I?
No, if you'd probably be at 100. The max health you would have right now would be in ready. It would be 150.
Yeah.
So right now you're at this like threshold.
Yeah.
Because the tired threshold would be 100, and then you would be in ready after that.
Okay.
And once you hit 50, you'd be in hurt.
So each one of those different like chunks gives you different ways you can heal. So if you're hurt, you need a doctor. If you're tired, you need food or sleep. If you're ready, you need to train. And if you're empowered, usually that's something you get through some
You take
other method.
steroids.
Yeah. Empowered is not a physically normal state, but there's ways to get there.
Okay. So I rolled 13.
All right.
So yeah, now you're
Gain
at
13.
113 health.
Okay.
While you're polishing the sword, you do see Reggie staring at it. Like it's not like a I want or anything like that. It's just like a how do I know?
Johnny
It's
still
like-
interprets that as you want. So
Any looking at the sword is
any suspicious interest with the sword, hoof. You're on the warning list.
Oh no.
The three of you and Elbjorn will perk up when in Lupus you hear Kindred. You look up and you see that looks like an archer carrying like what you presume to be a mug of coffee, just like a batten up pewter mug. Adventurers?
Yes.
Of a sort.
Good to see folk. Heading up north by chance?
We are.
That's the plan.
Happen to be two. If there's anything I can do for you or if you can do for me, like we can figure something out if that's all right.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
We're getting together a group. We have a couple paid slots.
If you need more work, money to make more slots, if you want to get bigger, I can find you a job or something.
Well, we're only going to be in town for...
2 or 3 more days.
Well, not specifically that. I was trying to be vague, but yes, 2 or 3 days. We want to put our cards on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just sort of being a little bit coy now. I'm just wondering if you happen to be looking for other adventurers, and if so, if you are looking, I can get you more work if you want to maybe make a bit more coin with the bulk you got.
Yeah, no, that we are an organization looking for coin. And meat bodies, I guess.
Reggie looks at you like, that's the description you're going for? Meat bodies?
Meat bodies.
Well, it's...
Been on the roads a while, so, I gotta know what's for these sorts of things.
All right, we will come find you if we need anything.
Be at the inn up a ways. Otherwise, look at me, I'm a distinctive fellow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Name's John Stone, by the way.
John Stone.
John
Is there any
Stone.
sort of adjective preceding, or? Oh, nothing.
Oh, just my name,
Okay.
Bill Johnstone.
Bill John Stone.
Just keeps adding names on top of it.
All right. Well, Mr. Stone, if we have need, we'll contact you.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Don't die too long now. Take her easy.
Now, not to be rude, but I do want to make a sleuth check on this man. Is he being fake friendly? Because this seems suspiciously
I gotta roll understand.
coy and casual about this whole thing.
Both of you guys roll on.
Reggie's just thinking, Richard Bill Johnston.
16.
He's just adding names. He's just like, Gabriel
12.
Richard Bill Johnston.
So you rolled a 12 understand?
Mhm.
What
I
about you?
rolled a 16 sleuth.
16 sleuth. Seems to be just the way the guy is. That being said, from what you glean, this guy has been on the road a while. By the battered mug of coffee, it's probably his own, and he probably made that coffee himself at some camp somewhere. You also ascertain in particular from the fletching on his arrows and the arrowheads that this guy probably is a hunter of some sort, making them himself. You gather that altogether, this guy's probably an adventurer. You, with your understand check, you know this type of guy. You're from like a northern village in the sort of fortlands that intersects with where the tundra is pretty close. You met tons of these guys. He's straight up just that friendly.
All right. Well,
Cool.
yeah, I'm just a little on edge. The more people we gather, the bigger a target and the easier it is to find us.
Yeah, I've been approached by 3 people already
Huh.
asking for jobs.
Do they seem suspicious?
No.
One was weak.
Looks can be deceiving.
As you say.
Man, every time this guy speaks, he just says some dope shit.
You may hire who you wish. I will not need them.
So by now it's a little bit past breakfast. It's getting into sort of like the early to mid-afternoon, and it looks like sales are picking up again.
Okay.
Corvo seems adamant to get the 3 of you guys back to the library again for some more research.
All right. I'm assuming the library has books on like the war itself, eh?
Mhm.
Like I'm trying to figure out everything I can about their because I feel like the war was the time when they were most prominent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to glean as much information as I can about just their structure and how they like to operate things.
Yeah, that's something that you're able to help Corvo with, is gathering information as well. Meanwhile, what's Vesta doing?
Well, we don't really have anything to do in the city, so...
We're trying to build an army!
Are we trying to build an army?
Yes! Well, that's what Henny's trying to do.
We're just trying to...
Vesta's just trying to make ends meet, you know.
Vesta's making ends meet, you know, like keeping things together.
Baking
like
that bread.
Yeah.
Henny is starting to see herself as like a returning fucking crusader, like coming back to reclaim Hammerhold from these dang blood drinkers.
Yeah.
Seeing Johnny Big Sword was like, oh, we might actually be able to do this thing.
You see, like, Johnny Big Sword is like a prophet.
Not a prophet, a very powerful tool.
Yeah.
Both in the literal and figurative sense.
Johnny's here to kill. Johnny doesn't care why.
Yeah, I mean, Vesta's just like, okay, gotta get from place A to place B. Gotta keep everybody together. You know? Again, like, pretty big group at this point.
It's at this point that you hear in the distance, like in Trader tongue, I said stop following her.
Doesn't react.
Reggie will look. Reggie will be like, who's
Are you still
following
here, or did you
No.
go off?
Oh,
to
no,
the
These guys
library?
left.
library.
I went off. Yeah, I did. Never mind.
I'll casually look around, you know, like, who's that? You know?
You see that there's a mouse folk sort of like slipping off into an alley where same guy from yesterday, Milton, is standing in front of a group of like 6 a little bit too early in the morning to be drunk mouse folk, all of whom seem to be somewhat rough and tumble.
Milton. Which one was that?
Wasn't he the weak one?
Was he the weak one?
I think it was.
Okay. I'll just watch what's happening. Are these drunk people giving him a hard time?
A few of them try to move past him and he physically like blocks them. You hear like the last of some cat calls. You don't know the language they're saying, but you know a cat call.
Mm-hmm.
At which point you see him like physically push some of them and these guys start ganging up on him. You see 1 or 2 get thrown out of the fray, but before long he's getting dogpiled.
Johnny, we gotta go break this up.
It is the weak one. He will be no match.
We're not fighting the weak one. We gotta break up the fight.
We're saving the weak one?
Yes.
I suppose that is understandable.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. We get up and run over there.
All right. You make your way into the fray. You're a lot bigger and you have a massive fucking sword, so half of them run. 2 of them are pinning down the rat folk, but now that it's just down to 2, he slips away from one and throws the other. You guys get into the fray and sort of push people back. You're not drawing blood because this is just, you know, a quarrel in the street. No need to fucking kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And right as they sort of run off, you see that there's a decent looking Lapine nearby who's sort of like throwing a dude away into the alley and going, and stay out. Man, some people have no respect, am I right?
Am I right?
Chet Baker, by the way. Chet, nice to meet you.
Chet.
Would be nice if this city had less unkind folk in it, but I guess that's how it is. Then again, it's how it is everywhere. Anyhow, I won't keep you. I'll see you around.
See you around.
Goodbye.
I'm just picturing Chet Baker to wander off, go grab his like 6-string guitar, acoustic guitar, sit out in a field somewhere and just strum it for all the college girls. That
Start
walk
playing
past.
Wonderwall.
Start playing fucking Wonderwall.
Hey, I'm Chet.
Hey, I'm Chet Baker. How's it going?
Anyway, this is Wonderwall.
It's that guy from the vine. Hey, bitch.
I will never stop loving you.
Oh god.
So now that the scuffle's gone and this Czech guy's gone, Milton looks back at you and goes, "Thanks for your help. Didn't have him, but I mean, someone had to."
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, I should go make sure I'm not hurt. Have a good day.
You do.
Goodbye.
Thanks for the help there, Johnny.
They were no match.
By now it's around lunch.
Chelsea's at the point of herself laughing is then in turn making her laugh.
I'm loving Johnny Big Sword. I'm loving this character.
I like her. He's a lot of fun.
Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.
I should probably make sure I don't have any internal bleeding.
Goodbye. Okay, I'm okay.
That is a problem for weak things like you. Bleeding on the inside as well as the outside.
Yeah.
Johnny is so one-dimensional, he's wrapped around to two-dimensional again.
He's become two-dimensional by being one-dimensional plus sort of maybe being a little bit conscious about the fact that he's one-dimensional.
Endearingly one-dimensional.
Yeah. No, I love him.
He's Chewbacca.
Oh, man.
Now that it's lunch and you guys have finished up some time at the library, you've come to some more conclusions. As for, what were you inquiring about? Their organizational structure?
I'm trying to see if there's somebody at the top that's commanding all the rest of them, or if it seems to be like they're all sort of unanimously making decisions individually, or...
It seems like for the most part, there's almost always someone at the top, but that's not a permanent thing and it's never the same person. If anything, it seems to be cutthroat to get to the top. You notice that their organizational scheme keeps changing.
All right.
It is not consistent for very long. All you know is that it happens to be politically convenient, whatever is getting them there.
I love the word unanimously that you have now made up.
Unanimously?
Yeah.
I didn't make up that word.
Unanimous is a word.
Anonymous is also a word.
Oh, I did totally combine those two. Unanimous. It's unanimous? It's not unanimous?
Unanimous is what I think.
I've been sounding like a moron my whole life, and no one corrected me. I hate it.
There you go.
I've never noticed it before, so.
Well, you've probably never
even
had
just
to
now, I didn't notice it.
I noticed it, but I didn't think it was worth saying.
You live with me.
You never said it before.
I have.
In my presence, that I've noticed.
Oh,
I mean, how many times do you have to say unanimous?
Unanimous?
Unanimous.
Deuteronomy? Okay.
All right. What you have also noted in your research is you've gone back further. You've traced back these sort of fake identities and recurring people back a little while. And you notice that there's a point where their organization seems to have lost a vast number of members. Now, because you guys were already aware that they were involved in the war a couple decades ago, they're almost all humans, elf-born, dwarf-born, and they've been involved with some pretty horrific genocidal acts. However, a few hundred years prior, you note that their organization includes a lot of beast folk.
Interesting. Reginald, check this shit out. They used to have beast folk among their ranks. Till about 25 years ago.
I wonder what would have changed.
Well, few hundred.
Oh, a few hundred years ago. Oof. Sorry, can't read without this thing.
Yeah, maybe I have that same issue.
After a bit of food, you guys are back, because there's still some threats to follow. throughout this research, you've been spending time praying away from the group to try and get additional visions regarding these things. You don't know anything yet, but you feel important that you're going to see something tonight. Gonna need a full night's sleep, though.
At that point, then I'm gonna excuse myself from the group early and head back and go to sleep.
All right.
Isn't it like at midday?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you start having a nice long nap. What's Vesta up to?
Sleeping in my bed.
Sightseeing, I guess.
You start wandering around the garrison. At garrison. Now it's the early afternoon, and you've seen through the gates that they have a lot of these machines, but they're not all made exactly the same. It seems like they're more cobbled together, trying to be the same thing than being sort of sleekly made the same over and over. You also note that they're being repaired constantly.
Not very put together well, like my sentences.
As the early afternoon goes on to the late afternoon, you've made your way about, checked out the walls, you've checked out different parts of the city. In Garrison, you note that there isn't like necessarily like a rich people part of town. There's a politics and academics side of town. You're checking out one of the other things to see in Garrison. They have a particularly nice, and especially like a newly built, very large chapel, a Temple of Skrit. And outside of it, not like waiting outside on the street, there's a couple of Tortuga heading towards you. One of them is a lot older, the other one's younger.
Okay.
The older one is sort of like bringing the dude along. He just looks at his kid for a bit and goes, "Go on! Go on! I said..." And the kid's just looking at you like a deer in headlights, like... And when I say kid, this dude is like an adult, but you get big kid energy from him.
Yeah. Okay.
At this point, he goes like, "My grandson Bobby has gone a little soft, and we would be interested in joining that big caravan of yours by the market to the next city or so we can pick up a bit of skill. We'll pay our way. We don't need any money."
Okay. We're gonna be in town for a couple more days, but as soon as I figure out exactly what's going on, I can let you know.
All right. "Bobby, better keep an eye out." At this point, the kid goes up and goes like, "I will, Pat. I'm going to listen. I'm going to keep an eye out." The guy just nods at you and goes, "Appreciate it. You training this kid here." Wanders off.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
God damn, I was looking. Oh, jeez, Pat.
Are you with me right now?
Am I with you? I don't think so.
Honestly,
Am I?
that's up to you. Were you staying with the caravan? Are you sort of still walking around with...
I think I'll stay at the caravan. That sounds like a thing that I would do.
While you're there, you
Guard
see
it.
that a couple of the other people have come and gone, the people that you have bumped into earlier. Milton you haven't seen since earlier. Garth, the sketchy one, you've seen sort of like genuinely like seeing a figure in a horror movie. Like you look across the market and like a wagon crosses and he's there, and a wagon crosses and he's gone. And then a few hours later, like there's a crowd that walks by and you swear you see his face, and then he's gone.
I'm gonna take out my sword. Sword out.
Just have it there.
I mean, sword out.
All right. By now, it's late afternoon, getting closer to supper time.
Is there a school in this city?
There are a couple.
Is there like a university?
There isn't one yet. The closest one would be probably Councilhenge, or if you went to Stoutgate.
Okay. Councilhenge is where we're going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That being said, there is a particularly large wizard's tower. It's not an academic institution per se, but if you're looking for like mages or arcanists, this would be where you'd go.
Is the... Because you said it's kind of divided up as like political and academic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is like the academic and political kind of together?
Yeah, in the same sort of quarters where there's a bunch of different, like there's residences and that sort of stuff. There's also various ministries, office buildings, and a number of, they're listed as societies. Like there's a historical society, there's a agrarian society, there's a like a wildlife conservation society, things like that.
Okay. We'll head back to the caravan. Let everybody know about the people that I came across.
So there's no university here. Would there be sort of a local historian who'd be an expert in the past, like the war, 25 years, and potentially the Life Drinkers?
You could check out the historical society.
I don't want to be too obvious about it, though, in case they've infiltrated it. But, like, I'm definitely skulking around there in alleys probably tomorrow is my plan. Like,
yeah.
Trying to get a read on the place, trying to see if there's any signs of infiltration or...
All right.
That's Henny's new mission.
So you've come back with the rest of the group from the library. Reggie's still out. But both of you guys are sort of in the midst of figuring out some things. Reggie is currently getting visions of faces and fights and battles and places people have been. You get a glimpse of something that jolts you awake basically like 15 minutes or so after everyone's back in camp for dinner. It's an image of a lupus, a face that you swear you recognize from a bunch of places, but you can't place who it is, pointing a sword from the other side of a battlefield at who you recognize to be the former empress from back in the war.
What does what weapon does the lupus have? Sorry? Or just pointing?
Just pointing, it's kind of in the way that visions and scrying work where you get glimpses. It's more like you see someone doing this kind of motion and you're not sure what they're holding.
Holy, I don't want to metagame here, but are you describing this vision to us?
I probably would, yeah. I'd probably reiterate everything I see in normal Reggie fashion, storm out from my
the
comfy...
Red Star has told me.
Yeah, the Red Star has sent me a vision.
You don't need to metagame because at the library, you found similar things. Those bunch of beast folk that were with the group, you started tracing forward in time, and they are still around and up to things. That lupus was one of them.
What color was the lupus?
White.
What was this lupus dressed like?
Oh, never mind. I'm in on the metagame knowledge on that one.
A kimono.
Huh. That's pretty distinctive.
Yeah, I haven't seen many people in a kimono.
There's no way we would have heard of this guy yet, eh? There's no way that in our research we've come across this man, have we?
Not... you basically just did,
Okay.
But most people would know who this is. The White Wolf Warrior is a common folk hero. Both Steelfist and Elbjorn both seem almost betrayed by this topic being brought up.
I mean, I always thought, all the stories, they say that he was immortal for almost on accident. Like a sort of a loophole or some red tape.
Steelfist, do you know who this is? What they're talking about?
Does he know who it is?
Steelfist literally just goes to your wagon, takes out a book, and it's Volume 1, Famous Folk Heroes of the Six Kingdoms. Opens it, first page, 1, The White Wolf Warrior.
There's an entire chapter on the wolf in the political book.
Yes, the political book. Not roguish dick.
No, certainly not.
The screen.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. It's still going. It's just the thing hasn't received a signal in a while. But I don't know who the Empress is. Actually, was I there at the final battle? I would have seen
If you
her.
were, you would have seen a...
Yeah, I would have seen her, so I would have known that it was the former Empress. And if I describe it to the group, does Vesta get an inkling of who that was? Because she would have seen her at Delta.
Yeah. Same person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Person I saw at Delta.
Yeah.
They're not sure if they're still active all the way to today, the group of beast folk, but as far as you can tell, moving forward in time, they have continued to be active for a few hundred years past where the split happened. You're still not at the present day, and you're not at the war yet.
That's interesting. There could be others that are just in hiding. Can't say that I blame them, considering what they're up against. I think tomorrow I'm going to go to the historical section and see if we can't get one of the archivists to help us do a little bit more research.
All right.
Cool.
So then who's on first watch?
I will be.
I will be.
All right. The two of you guys take first watch. You've got a bit of extra energy because you were just asleep for a couple hours.
I'm going to be up all night.
You really messed up your sleep cycle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I messed up my sleep cycle so bad, but the Red Star told me that something's going to happen in it, so...
I gotta sleep.
I had to sleep so that I would be ready for this night.
The watch in particular, this early first watch, is extra uneventful this time around. People going, people coming, people on the street, guards patrolling. Really, that's it. Who's on second?
Me.
Who else?
And me.
And into the darkness.
What
when
about
it's-
Johnny Big Sword? Is Johnny Big Sword
meditating inside.
Nice.
As we're all sleeping, and as the streets sort of quiet down, I'm assuming, like people are no longer filtering past, I'm just going to call out and say, Garth, I know you're out there. Let's have a chat.
He doesn't actually show up.
Okay.
Well, you certainly made a fool of yourself there, didn't you?
Well,
Calling out to random.
if I know anything about
air.
mysterious strangers, he's probably out there watching.
Is that because you would be out there watching like a creep?
Well, I mean, before Leland left and before Salas, yeah, no, I was a creep watching these people for quite a while, actually. So yeah, I'm assuming he's out there. Guy
Third
doesn't
watch.
want to talk.
Third watch? Third watch.
Third watch.
I'll be third watch.
All right. The pair of you guys are awake late into the night. There's...
I'm not going to make conversation.
Neither is Reggie either. Like,
Yeah, just sit there.
just straight up sitting in pure silence.
Sitting there in silence, so big sword.
Nope, nothing. Like,
Nothing.
no means of dialogue at all. Do you take the sword out at all during the night?
No.
Then nope.
perfectly silent watch elapses. What about fourth? By now, you still want a little bit of sleep.
I'll be Ryan.
I'm still.
Or wait, no. Steel Fist. And who else is it? Absolution.
Steelfist and Absolution get ready for their watch.
We have a lot of people.
We
Steel
do.
Fist.
Yes.
I feel every time Steel Fist is mentioned, that's what plays in my head. There's a little
Basically,
jiggle.
he like comes out of the wherever he's sleeping to a Borderlands entrance. Like
No, exactly. Like, there's some stupid cartoon, and there's one character every time she comes on screen, there's like children cheering, "Yay!" And it's just that, but like Steel Fist, so it's dramatic music every time he pops up.
Morning comes. people are awake early dawn in the camp getting things ready. It's then that Vesta, you spot on sort of the other side of the market, like between a stall and then through another stall. You see him, but he doesn't see you quite then. You see John Stone on the other side of the market having a morning cup of coffee.
Which one was John Stone?
John Stone was the really friendly archer ranger dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was drinking coffee, I think, when we first met him.
Okay, so I take that opportunity to turn to the group and say, are we looking for any more people to, like...
We are looking for trustworthy, untrackable people who are down to work for dangerous government conspiracies. And who can also guard a caravan for the next little bit.
Or we don't tell them about the dangerous government conspiracy in your head. And instead...
Have you been paying attention for the past few days?
On and off.
I've had a couple people come to me and ask about helping.
Ask
Guard the
how
caravan.
specific are they? How much do they know?
Nothing, they're just asking to come with us.
Oh, that's probably safe then.
Yeah, but
Reggie's
As
just
you-
like...
As you say, it's probably safe then. You see, before he sees you, like Garth walk out of a nearby tavern.
Speaking of, I'm going to go try and track down Garth.
He's there. You see him
Track
before.
down.
You have sort of the jump on him, so you manage to walk up to him and he nods to you.
Well, we're going to be leaving in a couple days. I think we could use somebody like you.
All right.
And then we part ways because we're both secretive people.
Well, hold on. Did you call my name like midnight last night?
Well, I wanted to talk to you and there's no one else around.
I thought I heard it. No, I had my window open a little bit, but like I do sleep.
Rookie mistake.
I sleep when not assigned, he says with like a thumbs up as he wanders off.
Okay. We're getting people together. We're getting a team. We're like the Avengers, but of weird, secretive killer people.
did you just like... I mean, okay.
What?
He's just some random guy. He's like super sketchy.
He's a random guy. He knows about the life drinkers.
Super sketchy.
If he was sketchy, he wouldn't have acted as sketchy as he did. If you wanted people to trust you, you don't wander in and say, "Oh, I know about that. Let me join you." This man, he's passionate. He's talented. He knows his way around, keeping his lips shut. I think we're going to have to start
What was
trusting people if
Was
we're
his
actually
name
going to
Gerald?
succeed.
What was his name?
It's Garth.
Garth.
Milton,
And again, not the worst name that we have in this party.
Not even the right number of syllables.
Milton
just-
walks around a corner.
Gerald is in my head. This is so many names. Oh my god.
Just walks out and is just like, there's witching to be done.
Gerald.
Milton walks up to you guys. You see him coming a little ways off. But he leans in and goes, not to be eavesdropping, but you guys were talking about some dude knowing about something you're up to. I mean, even I heard a little bit of it off the side.
Right, we're just trying to get a caravan together. You know, there's a lot of logistical stuff.
I'm not trying to edge my way in at this point. I'm just saying that if you think this dude might be in on it, he might be pretending. He might have just overheard you.
This is true.
And
But again, if he was, I don't think... You know what? I got nothing to say to this guy.
You're absolutely right. I said Milton.
Milton. He's back.
then you can mark that down on your notes. I've got an intuition. He gives you like one of these, and then like gives you some space.
Goodbye, Milton.
Okay, well, I don't like having attention gathered to us, actually. You know, at first I was kind of like, we got a sword man. Big sword man.
Big sword.
And I was like, this is great. And we got a spy of some sorts, but now I'm thinking, oof. Maybe I've gotten a little soft.
So, as you're listening, Vesta, you sort of stop a little, and you snap back out of it, and you realize that you've been ogling this Chet dude who's like talking to someone on the other side of the market. Simultaneously, because he's like you, he's a lapine, he's got 4 arms. He's leaning against a post like this. He's got another arm like this. He's got one that's like on his swords at his side, and the other one doing this.
What a pose.
What a Chet.
What a Chet.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Look at that guy.
He's got real Chet energy.
Him? Maybe we could recruit him. He doesn't look like particularly conspiracy-esque, but...
No, but he doesn't do a lot of thinking.
He's stronger than Milton.
Almost anyone would be.
Mm.
Reginald, what's your take?
At this point, Elmira walks up to you.
I think
Specifically
he's doing
you.
one.
You see like this squirrel folk decked to the nines in weapons. And just goes, strong ain't always how you win a fight.
Wise.
Elmira,
Thank you.
Elmira almost seems shocked by your response of like actual respect for her opinion. And just kind of smiles and gives you a nice like respectful nod back.
Meanwhile, Reggie is like, when you asked him what his take is, just like, I'm pretty sure I've seen that pose before. One of my wife's books. What was that title?
There's a picture.
It was the cover of the title right there. I'm pretty sure it was A Killer's Time for Lust.
Have you read these?
No, I just have a good memory for things my wife is interested in.
You seem like a very caring spouse.
Yeah, it's...
Very attentive to her needs.
I try.
Oh, man.
Also, you remember that you do have a political thriller called A Killer's Time for Something.
It was...
A Killer's Time for Law?
Yeah, it was A Killer's Time for Law.
And I do wonder, Will, the book that I randomly just made up, is it this author's, like, trying to branch out into something else?
A Killer's Time for Lust would be another detective novel, and they try and they fail. That being said, A Time for Killer Lust was another one of the books by the same one as Roguish Dick and Other Tales.
That could have been that book and you just got the name wrong.
I could have just got the name wrong. I don't know. She has a lot of them.
No, it's okay. Take your time.
You see Bea, like, rolling back the cover on the wagon to show it's empty and, like, putting away a table and stowing it back on the wagon. All right. Still making some sales, but now we just got to do pickup, so it's whenever you want to go, plus however long it takes for the drop-off.
Okay.
All right. I won't be sad to head out.
Do we want anybody to come with us up to, what's the name of the city again? I forgot.
Councilhenge.
Councilhenge.
Well, let's
Because
see.
I do like that hunter boy, the nice hunter guy that came along. He seemed like a nice man.
He seemed trustworthy, if nothing else.
Yeah. But I don't know how I feel about Chet, Mr. Wonderwall.
Chet Baker.
Chet Baker. I don't know. I mean, he's fine.
Reggie's just kind of impartial about the entire thing, because, like, Big Sword over here, he thinks that he can defend the carriage just fine with the group.
Hire who you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henny was not impressed.
Which guy?
At Chet?
Oh, Chet?
Yeah.
Well, he seems a little bit flashy, you know. But I do like Mr. Hunter, nice man.
He's a very nice man.
And then Gerald.
Garth.
And then there's also Milton.
Milton.
And then there was also the Tortugans you were talking about.
Yeah.
They said they wanted to join us for free, so I mean, why not?
This isn't a job for amateurs, though.
Yeah, it's kind of, we would be watching them as well.
We would be ditching them as soon as we got to the town, because we cannot drag an amateur into this operation. Which is fine. I mean, we can ditch them, but at the same time, I'm not going to trust them if I don't have to. And this mask itches.
So, don't wear the mask?
don't want to, but if we're going to have people that aren't in, mask stays on.
What about the other mask?
Did you want to bring Garth?
Yes.
You want to bring Garth?
I trust Garth.
Okay. Garth. I think we should bring Garth, and we should bring... What's the other man's name?
The hunter dude?
Yeah.
Johnstone.
Johnstone. I think we should contact them to come with us. Thoughts?
I agree. I contacted Garth.
Okay.
Johnstone seems easy enough to pick up.
Reggie just shrugs.
Now, Now, we have... I just want to make sure that we're not shortchanging these people. Would it be normal for them to hire 6 guards who are also guarding other caravans at the same time? Is that sort of a job that you can split, or would it be expected that we hire on more people to protect that caravan?
I have no idea what the sequence of words you just said means.
So, we have a caravan right now.
Yeah.
We're guarding it.
Yes.
We have a full guard around this caravan.
Yeah.
Plus a couple extra people. 1 or 2. There's a second caravan that wants a full 6 guards. Would we be expected to hire a full 6 guards to guard that one and this one? Or is this the sort of job that...
You would be expected to have enough guards to guard the caravan as well as have enough guards to guard the other caravans as part of a bigger group.
And as a bigger group, they sort of Venn diagram, eh? Like, you don't need... Like, it would be an additional 2 or 3 as opposed to a full, what you would need to guard one caravan?
Yes and no.
Okay.
You would be able to better organize your groups and better keep people together.
Okay.
But overall, you would still want the same number of guards.
Okay. So...
Which currently is 4 and then another 4.
That we have or that we need?
Well, you currently have the amount of people you have, which is Vesta, Henny, Reggie, Big Sword. And then you have Elbjorn, Trunk, Elmira, Steelfist, Absolution, Corvo for 10, which is the 4 you need for the caravan, plus there was another 4 you would have wanted for the other group of travelers, and then you've still got a decent amount of people to spare who would be able to go and do other tasks, take on other jobs, like a career one.
Okay, so I think, if we hire those 2, I think we're really set for guards.
Okay.
Because this caravan of 3 people, 4 people's enough to guard, right? Like, hang on. Okay, no, wait. If we say it's 6 people to guard one caravan, one group of caravanners, then hiring 2 more people makes perfect sense. So 6 per caravan.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm overthinking this. Yes, let's hire those 2. I just want to get the numbers all check out, and the math, and the price, and the who, and the where, and the why, and the when, and the roads you got to walk down.
All right.
Makes sense?
Did that make sense to anybody else?
I think so. The thing is, if we have 6 and 6, then we're doing like 6 and 6 rather than the 6 and 6.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we should do 6 and 6. After talking to Will, I think we both gleaned information from each other, but probably not the information Will set out to communicate. So, I think we want this instead of this. And I've worked it out here. These are the 2 slots we need to have a full 6 on caravan number 2.
I channeled my inner Reggie and just glazed over all the numbers.
To be fair, this is also basic arithmetic. Guards needed, guards available.
Right, but I'm trying to figure out the guards available versus the guards needed. It's not the math. It's not the addition and the subtraction. It's the logistics in between that phase.
Well, guards available, you have at least 10 people.
We have 10 people.
Guards needed, you only need 8.
What? I thought we needed 12 because we have 2 caravans and each one needs 6 people to guard it.
When did I say that?
You said that when caravan number 2 came up.
That had 6 people on it?
Oh,
that were hiring 4 guards and was paying 6 gold.
I see where the math got mixed up. I see where it got mixed up. I heard.
Thanks for helping me out though, because that was a clarifying information thing.
Okay, so we don't actually need to hire anybody. Screw those nincompoops. Except for the sneaky man, whom I like.
So we're not.
So you get to hire who you like?
I didn't hire him. I said we were leaving, and if he wants to tag along, he's welcome to. I did not promise him a paying position.
Yeah.
You see Elbjorn just sort of looking off at the edge of the market. You look and you see that Pappy and Bobby are walking through the market, but that's not what he's looking at. He's looking at Milton, who in turn is just like on a bench, just staring out the open gate.
Okay. Wait, who is it? Is Elbjorn who is looking?
Yeah, Elbjorn's the one who's looking at Milton.
What's up, Elbjorn? What's going on in your brain?
Do you think that guy's got the stuff? Milton kid?
I don't know.
I don't want us to make a dumb decision, so I'm leaving it to you. But I'm just saying, he reminds me of us when we left, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you left, you didn't know what you were getting into. Like...
We never know what we're getting into. I don't think we have the luxury of knowing what we're getting into.
I mean, no, but at the same time, like, we're not a typical adventuring party. We're not going town to town killing wolves. We are... I mean, we have a sort of a bigger threat looming over us constantly that...
Absolution chimes in. I've been adventuring for decades. There's no typical adventuring party. There's no typical adventuring work. It always goes strange.
You were looking for professionals? Milton is no professional. However...
Trunk chimes in. I have to agree. As much as I want to be on the plucky kid's side, he needs training.
If we were going into some sort of ferocious beast's den or navigating sometimes political situation, sure, bring the kid in. This is a centuries-old organization that has sent a lot of people to kill us.
I think we're all on the same team here.
The don't hire Milton team?
Yeah.
Reggie is kind of leaning towards the hire Milton, but simply because he wants a protege.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Garth. I don't really trust him.
You know, that's fair.
Can
respect
I Omen Watcher Milton?
Yes.
Specifically, Omen Watchering us inviting Milton along.
You have mixed, but vaguely positive feelings.
I will convey that to the group.
I want to Omen Watcher Garth.
You have a bad feeling about this.
Reminding each other of our abilities.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a no on Garth.
Okay. You're right. I think... Excuse me. I think that... I think maybe I let Finding Sword Boy go to my head. Big Sword Boy. Go to my head here. Yeah, they may have let my excitement get the better of me.
In that case, we should hire Milton.
I agree.
Milton? What?
If we do not hire Gareth for the bad feelings, we should hire Milton for the good feelings.
Or the Ranger.
What are our feelings on the Ranger?
I don't think I could use Omen Watcher again.
I don't have feelings towards the Ranger. I just know that kid's got some.
I mean, we could also go for Chet. I mean, he has 4 arms. And I think he knows how to use them.
I have 4 arms.
Well...
What are our feelings on
I know how to
Chet?
use them.
What are our feelings on Vesta's arms?
Can I use...
Good.
Can I use close call to squeeze myself out of the bad situation of inviting this Garth dude along?
That is not a use.
That's not how that ability is used.
I honestly think that we don't even need to bring more people.
The title of this episode is Vesta's Burden.
Yeah.
This is all going to come down to you.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
have people you trust more than the others in this caravan in terms of tactical decisions gathered around you. And there's other people in this caravan that you've trusted based on personal history and background, but really they're looking at you because you're their leader.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say no about the Garth kid. I'm going to say no about the 2 Tortugans. I don't really like Chet.
What?
He gives me strong Wonderwall vibes.
And on. Yeah.
The thing is, Milton, he's just a kid, you know? We're kind of going into like some big stuff here. But I don't feel so bad about inviting nice hunter boy on. You know, he seems like a nice man.
Well, as you guys are packing up and the deliveries are loaded onto the caravan, you see them, all the people that you've mentioned, somewhere around the market. Who are you going to see before you head out?
I can go tell Garth that we're going to have to go separately.
Or you could just not say anything.
Well, I told him to follow us behind, but...
Okay, well then go...
No, it's up to you. It's up to you.
You go tell him. Go tell him that we're going on our own.
I'm gonna sidle up to him and pass him a note that I wrote, which reads, "Too dangerous to group up. Best to go about this separately."
He just nods to you and winks. Roll delicate.
7!
God. What the hell?
Listen, I have 7 mental, I smart. I have 1 physical, I weak.
Okay, let me just look at your character sheet real quick.
I'm going back and forth on this Milton guy.
I know what I want to happen.
It's better than me.
You want a pencil?
Oh, I need the eraser.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Penny is intelligent. She doesn't keep her gold on her purse. She notices well after you guys have left town that string's been cut. Garth stole your fucking wallet.
God damn it, Garth.
Oh, shit. So I'm gonna ask you, do I need to go and tell Milton that he won't be joining us?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Okay.
He's like a child, you know?
I'm gonna go over to Milton and tell him that, like, he's just not ready for this kind of adventure yet. But also, can I roll Militactic and give him some advice?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the hunter boy again? I've forgotten it.
John Stone.
John Stone. I would like to go find John Stone and invite him to come with us.
All right.
Penny went out of her protective paranoid shell once and got sucker punched, and now she's never coming back.
14 on that advice.
14. You talk about the fight that you didn't see but you heard he was in. You mention about how you want to funnel groups together. You want to make sure that only some of them can fight you at once. As you look, he seems to be really listening to what you have to say. He thanks you for considering him and for coming by to tell him the bad news instead of just leaving.
Reggie feels happy as he walks back. He took that well.
With 2 new adventurers in tow, you guys kick out of town towards Councilhenge. The in-town portion of this went longer than expected, so next time around we're going to be doing a lot of traveling, like a lot.
Okay.
That being said, I'd say it was worth it. I'd say we got some good RP out here in Garrison.
Yeah, we get introduced to Johnny Big Sword, who has a very big sword.
And a surprisingly complex backstory. Like
that we've learned nothing about.
We've learned nothing about.
Don't worry, I'll give opportunity for that next time I see the sword.
All right. Well, if you guys want to see what happens next on this sweet old channel, you can check out next week, Wednesday, later half of 7 is when we usually come on. You can check out the episodes after they've been posted on youtube.com/Mr. Croton. Here we're at twitch.tv/Mr. Croton. And if you guys want the rules to the game, hopefully it shouldn't be too long because I'm getting further along in the editing, but for now they're at a wiki at bloodwine.fandom.com. Anything you want to mention?
Friday is probably going to be more Pokemon because I've been having a lot of fun with it. Just kind of like screwing around with it. It's very interesting how overpowered you can get in that game by screwing around with friends. Because like this is the first mainstay Pokemon game where they've really given multiplayer a try. And it's just one of those things where it's just like I screwed around with Cam on the last stream for 4 hours, or not even that, like 2 hours. And my Pokemon were wickedly overleveled just from screwing around.
Well, if you guys want to see some Pokemon slap the shit out of other Pokemon, You know what to do.
It's going to be glorious. So tune in Friday, and thank you everyone for all your support, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.